Hi guys. I've mentioned that I do my own cover art for my books, and some people might be wondering why. It kind of just seems like going and doing a lot of extra work for something that already has a lot of steps, and it just doesn't make sense. And today I kind of just want to talk about that. My name is Julia. Some of you, if you've read my books, might know me as J.E. Eliot. I'm the author of the fantasy novel A Journey Paved in Shadows, The Light of Evenfall, and a few more works in progress. So as you guys can see, I like art, and around my entire house I've decorated it with my artworks. Luckily, my husband thinks I'm also pretty good. I like to paint. Painting is one of my favorite things to do outside of writing. It offers me a lot of freedom to express myself in different ways. I mean, for the cover art, it's a little bit different style than, say, this one up here, which is a little more abstract, or this one I'm working on right now. I like to experiment with different styles and different techniques just to see how they turn out. And in the last video, I think I went over how I went about the cover art for The Light of Evenfall, and it was a similar process for the A Journey Paved in Shadows as well. Sketched out what I kind of wanted, just like a vague idea. Then I just started painting. For A Journey Paved in Shadows, I kind of focused more on the setting more than Rin and Xeris. Monumental point in the book is starting on this cold, lonely, icy mountain. So that's kind of what I wanted to highlight, and how it just kind of shadows over the two characters. For The Light of Evenfall, I wanted to focus more on Rin and Xeris, really encapsulate the stories about them and their journey. I also did the two maps, which was fun to teach myself, especially after times like now where, you know, I'm coming out with a new book in a week where there's a lot of crunches, a lot of last pushes to get it done. It's really nice to just sit down and not think about that. And for me, not thinking about that is painting. Have a bunch of unfinished works everywhere. I feel like I just get new ideas and start one, and then I get kind of scared and don't want to ruin what I've already started and go on to a next one. But I'm slowly breaking that habit because obviously I want to finish them, but also it's paint. You can always paint over it if you don't like it. Lately, painting has been a big stress relief for me, a big way to relax at the end of the day, at night, or even during the day. You know, with all those deadlines met and all those last crunches done for publishing The Light of Evenfall. Break period right now. Back to the point, the more time I have to focus on painting and not have to worry about the stress of publishing or writing or marketing or just everyday stressors, it allows me to just fully express myself, I guess, in a very therapeutic way to me. I started painting many years ago. I picked it up in high school a little bit, but never really took any classes for it, mainly because it was intimidating to me. I had been drawing my whole life, and they're two completely different mediums, so I just didn't feel confident enough to do it. But then around 2019, I picked it up again and just started doing really small projects, like this one right here. It's one of my first ones. I like it a lot. I wasn't really sure how to go about it or what styles I liked, but I never got too serious about it. I started off with canvas board. They're not very sturdy, they get warped really easily, and they're cheap, so that's what I started on. Slowly, I progressed. Stretched canvases, the typical ones you see, and that's what I've been going on from there. And sometimes I use art paper, just depends on what project I'm working on and the results that I want. As I got more comfortable with, say, larger canvases, I also started branching out and using more techniques. Something I really love in painting is its texture. I think adding texture adds 3 elements to it, literally. It just makes it more immersive, embraced by the painting. Combining that element with larger canvases, and also I started using a lot of water in my paintings. What I do the most often is more loose abstract style, kind of like this, usually loosely based off of actual things like clouds for this one. These ones are really becoming kind of like a mountain-esque landscape. One of the reasons why I just love living out here in Colorado is because there's so much beauty and so much inspiration to find from just going outside. I mean, I go outside, I look to the left and there are mountains. And obviously, I draw a lot of inspiration from mountains. They're in a lot of my works. But they're not going to be detailed in a like traditional landscape. I kind of have my own take on it. But that also being said, I have been working more to develop skills for not realistic, but just to get a little bit more detailed landscapes. And that brings up the question, why do I go the extra length to make my own cover art? It brings me a lot of joy being able to push myself to do more and use new techniques and create results that I didn't even know that I could do before. Beyond that, money. I really didn't have enough money or to hire a professional artist at the time for a journey page in Shadows. So I thought, I already have some of these skills, let me just see what I can do. For the Light of Evenfall, I was like, well, I did the first one, might as well do the second one. But now I'm also planning on doing the cover and the art inside. In my next book too, I discovered I kind of like it. It's a good way to add my own personal touch to like the final result of the book. I want to make it pretty eye-catching, putting the face to the book. Painting is just so enjoyable to me. It's my second favorite thing to do. Obviously, writing's my first. When I started writing a journey page in Shadows, I knew I wanted to publish. In fact, I spent years trying to traditionally publish, and it just didn't really work out. And that's when I eventually transitioned to self-publishing, which I love. I love the freedom it gives me, and it's actually published now, so that's a win. But going back to the main point, I started writing it just to write it because I love writing, and in the course of trying to publish it, I think I got wrapped up in knowledge that I wanted to eventually sell it. And so I was putting out all these results, pushing all this time, energy, and all of my resources into this so that it would sell. And even though, I still love writing, obviously. I wrote 2 books, I have another one coming out. I love writing, but along the way, the passion for it got kind of overshadowed by the pressure of eventually having to sell it. With painting, I don't have that. Obviously, being able to sell my art would be a wonderful experience. I really want to eventually do that. I haven't sold anything, maybe like 1 or 2 small ones in the past, but I don't have that pressure to sell. I paint because I love it. I love the medium. I love the creativity that is involved in it. I love how I'm able to work with it to express myself. And so all of my pieces are passion and love. And I don't know if that's just kind of like a very vague way to describe them, but I couldn't have made them in the same way with the same results if I was only focused on selling. And I love combining it with writing, fully putting my all. Maybe eventually I will start selling, and that will be super cool to see other people love them as much as I do. But for now, they're just here, and I'm just gonna keep making them. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's not exactly the same as the last videos, but I kind of wanted this channel to be just somewhere to talk about my work, whatever that may be. So thank you for getting this far if you did.